Here we go. We're going to go ahead and double them up for heat race number 1 of the Macadoodles Super Stocks. Finally going to get some racing in for your race fans. Got the track packed in. Looks beautiful out there and raceable. Lights are out.
You ready? Say these words. Lights off. Going green.
Lights are out, going green this time for heat race number 1 of the night. Race 1 of the season. Feel like it's been an hour of waiting, and we're ready to go. 5 cars in heat race number 1. Mark Davis to lead him to the green. Mark fires. We're green for heat race number 1. Off into 1. Driver's going to be a little bit careful on the slickness. Got Tim Brown in the 111. They're going to be 3 wide for 3rd down the back straightaway. It's going to be Tyrel Hurt on the bottom. Now it's the battle for the lead once again. Mark Davis running that middle lane. Tim looking for a spot. Gonna go underneath him, drag race down the back straightaway. Gonna try to pinch him off into 3. See, Tim got a little loose there. Messed up his entry, but Mark's gonna get a little high in the slick. Tim Brown to the lead in heat race number 1. Tim Brown, your leader. Mark Davis in 2nd. Ace O'Neill in the 2A in 3rd. Darrell Hurt in the 50. And William Gardner in the 7. Heat races, they're using it as a test to kind of prep for later in the night, especially trying to work in the track right now. You see Tim Brown get up just a little bit in the slick. Halfway to go there at the line. See, they're all running about that middle lane. Don't want to go too low because you see the wet spots on the bottom of exit of 4. You can see all the wet stuff down there. And up top, that's where the fluff's at, so you're not going to have much grip up there either. Mark drove her in deep right there. That didn't turn. Big push off the exit of 2. That allows Ace to get reel in Mark Davis. White flag in the air for Tim Brown. Got the lead on lap 3. Got around Mark Davis. Into 3 for the final time of heat race number 1. It's going to be Tim Brown in the 111 getting the win. Drag race for 2nd. Mark Davis gets 2nd. Ace O'Neill in 3rd. Darrell Hurt in 4th. Macadoodles Super Stocks heat race number 2 rolling out on the racetrack right now. Terry Williams in the 27 to lead them out. Logan Thompson to his outside in the 16. Row 2 is going to be Brian White in the 41. In the 112 is going to be Kevin Brown. And rounding out the field is going to be the 44S of Steve Cushing. Going to try to roll the outside line. The extreme top up there. Try to get them started on the cushion for the night. Pack that in a little bit. Then we'll go 1 to go here. Try to get the track widened out before we get to the features and everything later on tonight. But Super Stocks, final heat race for them. Then we'll have the Young Guns, B Mods, Hornets, Midwest Mods, Pure Stocks. Will round out the heat races of the night. There'll be one Young Gun heat race. It'll be 2 heat races for the B Mods. Hornets will be 2 heat races. Midwest Mods will have 3 heat races, so they'll definitely pack the track in, get a lot of cars out there, and then to round it off, it'll be 2 heat races for the Pure Stock. So the track will definitely be worked in. You'll see a lot of change tonight. Going to be doubling it up here.
8 laps at your distance. Top 3 to 10. 8 laps your distance. Top 3 to 10. Good luck.
Doubling up here. Lights are out. Going to be 4 cars for the heat race. Terry Williams, Logan Thompson, the front row. Row 2, Brian White and Kevin Brown.
27. Hold your pace. Hold your pace.
Here we roll. Closing in on the cone. Terry fires, and we're green for Macadoodle's Super Stocks heat race number 2. Close at the line there. 4 cars under a blanket through 1. It's going to be Logan to clear down the back straightaway and take the lead. Terry's going to drive it in deep into 3. Not going to be able to hold it, though. Logan to lead lap number 1. Logan running up the racetrack just a little bit more than we saw in heat race number 1. Terry a little bit tight, and Brian White running the middle lane, picking up that left front. Here goes Kevin looking to the bottom. .41's picking up that left front as we got Kevin to the bottom, little half slider there. Crossover, not going to be able to do it. Kevin moves into the 3rd spot. Seeing 2 different lines. Logan went up the racetrack and diamond the corner. Terry drove in deep and tried to run the top on exit. About met in the middle. Kevin Brown in the 112 do, though looking good. Gains a little bit, made a mistake there. Coming back to the white flag at the line for Logan Thompson. Has Terry learned anything from the first 7 laps? Is he going to be able to gain any? Both heat races so far have the winner has came from the 2nd position. And through 3 and 4, it's going to be the same thing. Logan Thompson in the 16 wins heat race number 2 for the Super Stocks. Next out on the racetrack is going to be the Young Guns for 6 laps. So the Young Guns out on the racetrack. There's going to be 7 of them, 18 and under. Same cars as the Hornets, just 18 and under. Good learning class for these guys. On the pole is going to be Brantley Jones in the 13. To his outside is going to be Isaac Farewell in the 9. Row number 2 is going to be Sidney Tarto. And to the outside of row 2 is going to be the 28Z is Zoe Mooney. And row 3 is going to be the ribbon car of Maddie Cobb. And to her outside is going to be Kyle Kraus in the 777. Round out the field is going to be Lauren Heinlein in the 7th position as we're getting ready to go green for the one and only heat race for the Young Guns. Green is out, and we're racing in the Driven to Win Young Guns. 6 laps is the distance. Into the corner, deep contact in the back. One around. And we're going to have an early caution. Debris on the racetrack on lap number 1.
Debris in turn 1 and 2. Go high in turn 1 and 2. High in turn 1 and 2. Be on the lookout for safety team. Be on the lookout for safety team.
Saw there one went a little bit deep and made contact. Nowhere to go for the 12 of Lauren. Wasn't able to avoid it. Well, that's what the slick track did. Wasn't able to turn. Six laps of the distance. We're going to have the 22 of Sydney go exit a 3, try to rip that back bumper off, and then get him back going green here.
Everybody, appreciate you watching here on Show Me Dirt. Live look in here on Lebanon Midway Speedway's page and Show Me Dirt. Opening night here at Lebanon Midway Speedway. Tomorrow night we'll be over at Lebanon I-44 Speedway for some asphalt racing.
All right, at the stripe, going to double them up once again. All right, we're going to try to stay single file this time. Single file. Brantley Jones going to lead them back to the green. Green's in the air, and we're racing once again in the Driven to Win Young Guns. Remember how slick the track is. Side-by-side battle off of turn 2. That's Ribbon and the 12 car. Matty Cobb and Lauren Highland. Looking for the third spot. That was the 77 on the bottom of the 28Z, Zoe Mooney. Kyle Kraus. But keep in mind, these are all under 18 years of age. Getting out, learning the track, learning the race car, learning the dirt. Out here. Isaac got a little high in 3 and 4 there. Threw some dirt up on the wall. Testing the waters on how high to go. Little lap traffic for your leader in Brantley. Gonna have to navigate lap traffic, trying to get around the outside line. That's Sydney in the 22. Brantley to the outside. This is bunched up the field. Now second and third have caught up to Brantley. A little bit loose on exit of 2. Side by side for third. Oh, contact for third. They get hung together. Able to save it. Keep it going. White flags in the air. Brantley in the 13. Makes a little contact with Sydney. Able to save it, though. Everybody stays rolling. Led from the drop of the green flag. Brantley Jones in the 13 is going to win the heat race for the Driven to Win Young Guns. Isaac Farrell comes home second. The 777 Kyle Kraus comes home third. The 28 of Zoe Mooney. The ribbon of Matty Cobb. Lauren Highland in the 12. And Sydney in the 22. Out on the track now is the high side power coating fabrication B mods. 8 laps the difference. Eric Graves, the number 2 on the pole. To his outside is going to be Bobby Rattery in the 20. And row 2 is going to be J.C. Newell in the 83. And to his outside is going to be Cody Crabtree in the 14C. Row number 3 is going to be Mason Roden in the 49. And Chris Jackson in the 65. Round out the field is going to be Adriel Shepard in the 55. We're going to try to roll the top in just a little bit more.
Roll that high side. Roll that high side.
Everybody, the last heat race here on Show Me Dirt here on Facebook. We'll drop her over to YouTube. If you guys want to watch the remainder of it, Show Me Dirt.
Lights are off. We're doubled up and ready to go green for the first heat race of 2. For the high side powder coating fabrication B mods. Into 3, Eric Graves, Bobby Rattery to lead them to the green. Bobby got way high there, was able to keep momentum though, not go too high. They're going to navigate through 1 and 2 for the first time. Bobby's going to get way up high. Top isn't worked in that much yet. Coming off of turn 4. It'll be Eric Graves to lead it at the line. Battle for the lead is on. That's the 83 of JC Newell working the bottom. Kind of that middle of the bottom, and Eric still rolling the top side. Eric doing a good job kind of holding that middle lane, not allowing JC to go to the bottom. Look at the 65 of Chris Jackson rolling the high side. In the 65. Throw it into the corner on the high side. Gets the drive off on exit. That's the battle for third. Really deep in the corner, pitches it sideways enough. It should be able to clear. He moves into the third spot, just in front of the 14C. That's Cody Crabtree, as the battle for the lead is on. Once again, they've been about side by side, we'll say halfway side by side, slideways together every corner. With Eric running the outside and JC just slowly creeping in more and more in the bottom lane. Still working the bottom. Everybody so far seeming to like that middle lane. So we're coming to the white flag. Eric Graves had a great start. Has led it from the drop of the green flag so far. And into 3 and 4 for the final time on the high side. Eric Graves in the 2 is going to get the heat race #1 win for the B-Mods. As the B-Mod Heat Race #2 rolls on the racetrack. Track's looking great and racy. Sunset's looking beautiful. What a night to be out at the dirt track here at Lebanon Midway Speedway. On the pole for Heat Race #2 is going to be Donnie Betts. To his outside is going to be Oakley Ragland in the 15R. Row 2 is going to be Ryan Gilmore in the 66. And Lane New in the 32. Row 3 is going to be Chris Rattery in the 24R. And to his outside is going to be Waylon Dimmitt in the 11. Rounding off the field in the 28D is going to be Dylan Dampier, as we're still working in that high side. Once again, race fans, thank you all for coming out once again. Really appreciate you all coming out and watching and supporting Midway Speedway, and everybody watching on Show Me Dirt. If you're not able to make it to the racetrack, check it out on Show Me Dirt. Race replays showed within a week of the race. Final lap of working it all in. What about these heat races so far? Been a lot of action. And you see the track starting to develop 2 lanes. So on the last one, JC rolling the bottom. Eric Graves in the 2 was rolling the outside. But go ahead, bump your neighbor, make a friendly wager on who you think's going to win heat race #2 for the high side powder coating fabrication B-Mods. We're doubling up now. 8 laps your distance. Heat race number 2 for the B-Mods, getting ready to go green. Donnie Betts in the 68, Oakley Ragland in the 15R to lead him to it. Donnie fires, and we're green for heat race number 2. Dead even at the stripe into 1. It's going to be the 15R of Oakley taking the lead around the high side. Then the battles for second. It's the 66 of Ryan Gilmore on the bottom. Donnie Betts trying to roll it outside line. Looks like the high side just isn't there right now. But now the battle's on for the lead. That Ryan has gotten to the second spot. 3 wide down the back, down the front straightaway into turn 1 for second, or for third. 3 wide, hanging on to it, side by side for the lead. We're just talking it up here in the booth, hearing it on the radios from the track officials. It is going to be a bad, fast racetrack as there's a half slider for the lead. Ryan Gilmore to the lead in the 66. This track's looking racy already tonight. Now battles for third into 3. 3 cars under a blanket. That's the 11 on the inside of the 32 of Lane New. A little bit of contact down the back straightaway. Going to swipe at the bumper. Battle for second. They're almost 3 wide once again. That's Oakley Ragland in the 15R. There goes a slide job from Lane. Able to clear and get to second. Looking to go 3 wide once again. Waylon Dimmitt on the bottom as white flag is in the air. Best battle on the racetrack is for second. But all on his own out front is Donnie Betts. Is Ryan Gilmore in the 66. Able to come away with the heat race number 2 win for the B-Mods. Lane New in the 32 able to get second. The 11 of Waylon Dimmitt going to round out the podium. What do you think about that B-Mod action there? Rolling out now is the Hornets for their first of 2 heat races. Heat race number 1 is going to be Corbin Mooney in the 2M. To his outside is going to be Bobby Mooney in the 3M. Row 2 is going to be Rhett Eghar in the 29, Jim Cook in the 80. Martin Jared Mooney in the 73, and Justin Day to round off the field. We'll see if Justin in that fast 2 is able to get to the front at the end of these 8 laps. As the Moonies fire on the front row, and we're green for heat race number 1 for the Hornets. Out the lead's going to be Bobby Mooney in the 3M. Corbin Mooney on the bottom. Trying to roll it, just doesn't look like the bottom's working for the Hornets yet. But now Jim Cook has his sights set on the lead. Here comes the 80. Jim Cook to the bottom. Underneath Bobby, thinks better of it into 3. Justin Day trying to roll the outside, problems on the exit of 4. The 29. Rhett not having the heat race he wanted, has a problem, has to pull to the infield. But the battle is for the lead once again. See how differently these 2 drivers drive into the corner? Bobby Mooney drives in really hard and deep, gets it sideways. Jim Cook backs up the corner, gets a good exit. And here comes Justin Day in the 2. Caution's out. Caution is out. How many laps? 3 down. 3 laps in, first caution. So we're going to get the 29 pushed off here, Rhett. Hopefully they're able to get it fixed in the pits for the main event tonight. Give him a little extra time if he's able to get off now. 3 complete, 5 to go. Lights are out, 5 laps to go. It's going to be Bobby Mooney on the front row all by himself. Jim Cook in the 80 on the bottom. And Justin Day in the 2 to his outside. So we get back into the restart zone. Bobby fires back green. The high side seemed to work on the first restart. We'll see if Justin's able to work it again. He's going to have to check up a little bit. Jim got in the corner deep. There's Corbin Mooney in the 2M, really ripping the high side. He gained a lot there. Justin trying to sneak to the outside, going to do a crossover. Try to get underneath Jim now down the back straightaway. Trying to see where there's an opening. Looks to the high side, thinks better of it. Goes back to the bottom. Doesn't have a big enough run. Now he looks to the top side. Gonna give him a bump into 1. Trying to push him into the corner faster than he wants to go, but now Jim goes to the inside of Bobby Mooney. Pack racing here at Lebanon Midway Speedway already. 3 cars, 4 cars going for the lead whenever they can get it. White flag at the line. Bobby got loose there. Going to open up the door for Jim on the bottom. Justin Day's going to have a run now. Can he get to the inside of Jim Cook down the back straightaway? Going to give him a bump. Push him off into the corner. Try to get the second spot. But it's going to be Bobby Mooney to get the heat race win for the Hornets. Heat race number 2, 8 laps once again. Kyle Kraus going to go double duty in the Young Guns and Hornets. He's going to be on the pole for this one. Charlie O'Neill in the 3C going to be in second. Daniel Barton in the 93 and David Matney in the 12N in row 2. Alex Scarlett in the 32S and Tyrel Jones in the 33 to round off the field when they get back on the track. They're making their way down there. She'll be coming on the racetrack now. Kyle Kraus not going to be able to make it out. So we're going to double him up. Go 1 to go here. Gonna hold them off, turn the lights back on, try to get them all doubled up once again. All right, now that we got them situated, lights are out. We're going to go green this time for the Midwest Hornets.
Slow your pace, slow pace, slow down.
Going to try to keep them slow.
Slow down, no start.
They're going green.
No start.
We're going to go ahead.
Door to door, slow pace,
Wave the caution once again.
slow pace.
Try to keep their pace slow and even as they close in into the cones. You look down into 3 and 4, the restart zone down there. They can go anytime in those cones.
3C, hold your pace, hold your pace.
This is the rowdy bunch of Hornets, so we're trying to keep them all in the beehive. Now we're green for heat race number 2 in the Midwest Hornet Dirt Series. Hornets off into 1. It's going to be the 93. Daniel Barton taking the lead. Tyrel Jones in the 33 taking the early jump into second. Looking to come off underneath the 93 there. Run the outside. This is the heat race of the 3s. You got the 93, the 33, the 3, the 32. I think David Matney is feeling like a fish out of water here as the battles for the lead. Still, that's Jones looking for a gap. You see him try the outside line, then exit underneath. Just doesn't have the momentum on the corner exit to go to the bottom. Going to try it once again. Can he sneak to the outside line? Doesn't look like it. Little contact for third maybe between the 3 and the 12. Got 2 battles going on the racetrack. Everybody's got a battle, buddy. Looking to the inside. David in the 12M. Able to stay off it. Now here comes the 33 for the lead. Had to back off there. Lap 5 at the line that time. 3 to go. Tyrel Jones looking to the inside once again. He's got to the inside off of 4 that last time. Wasn't able that time. Enter tire, tries to exit lower, has a run now. Just doesn't have the power. White flag at the line. Is Daniel Barton going to be able to hold off Tyrel Jones in the 33? To the outside now, going to throw it in deep, has the grip. To the outside, side by side down the back straightaway. Into 3 for the final time. Jones throws it in deep. Barton on the bottom. And Jones to take heat race 2 win of the Hornets on a last lap pass, last corner pass around the outside. Looking like Larson on the high side and the Hornets. Next up's going to be your Midwest Mods. Most cars in this class going to be 3 heat races for them. 8 laps your distance.
Midwest
Ben Newell in the 83 is going to be your pole leader. Michael McCauley in the 10M to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Corey Henson in the 6, and Brian Prewett in the 222. Row 3 is going to be Ryan Hargis in the 25J, and Derek Cook in the 7C. Then rounding off the field is going to be Joe Francis in the 32. That is your lineup for the Heat Race 1 of the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods. Here we go, doubling up. Ready for Heat Race 1 of the Midwest Mods. Ben Newell, Michael McCauley. Going to lead them to the green. Ben fires, and we're green. Great start for Ben, able to clear by at least a car length. They're going to be 3 wide for third for a split second there. Battle there now is between the 10 and 25. A little bit of contact and a spin. Hopefully able to keep it going into the tire. Stops, going to be a caution in turn 3. Ooh.
By himself. One and done. 6.
Corey Hansen goes around in the 6. One lap down, 7 laps to go. Lineup's good. We're going to double them up at the line.
Lineup is good. Double up at the line. 25.
So Ben going to be on the front row all by himself. 25 has the choose. Ryan Hargis in the 25J. That's not how the choose works.
Who's that? 22?
222 is running.
222. Get back. Hold on.
We're not going green. Not going to go green this time.
Lineup good. Lineup good. Lights off.
The lights are out. Now we're going to go ahead and go green. Ben Newell in 83. Once again, leading them back to it. See who works. What lane's working for the Midwest mods now. We saw in the B mods, it looked like the outside, kind of that middle to outside was the preferred lane, but as it gets worked in more, that probably won't be it. As you see Ben really working the bottom, honestly, which is the first time we've seen anybody work the inside line tonight. There in 3 and 4 goes just through the middle. Searching for grip on the dirt. You hear a few drivers hitting the chip down the front straightaway. Depending on the gear, come off the corner better or have the higher top end speed. Battle is for third at the moment. That's the 222 of Brian. To the outside, that's the 7 of Derek Cook. Pretty even so far. Brian gonna do almost a slide job. Able to clear though into 3. To move Brian Prewett into third. This time at the line. White flag for Ben. Led since the drop of the green flag, had a great start. Has built half a car every lap since. Off of turn number 4. Ben is going to get the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mod Heat number 1 win. Alrighty, heat race number 2 for the Midwest Mods. Garrett Parker in the 17G, Austin Beam to his outside in the 9A. Row 2 is going to be Derek Collins in the 14C, and James Hintrich in the 10. 87 of Aaron Odell. Caleb Rhodes in the R4, going to be 6th, and John Newell in the 14 going to round off the field for the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods heat race number 2. Garrett Parker, Austin Beam going to lead them to the green in the Midwest Mods heat number 2. Garrett fires, and we're racing. Austin with a good run there down the outside, isn't able to hold it. That car looks way tight on the exit of turn 2. That's going to open up a big lead for Garrett in the 17. Slide job from James, able to move him to second. Now here comes the 4. The R4 of Caleb Rhodes, move him to second. Looks like the track has started to tighten up on the high side. And here comes Rhodes looking for a move into turn 1. One to the wall in 3 and 4. Cautions out. On the outside line, that's Aaron Odell in the 87. We're going to go ahead and double it up at the line.
14 farm choose. 10 choose. 9 choose. 14 choose.
Now in the Midwest mods, there is a choose rule. So down the front straightaway, we're letting everybody choose. But now that we're going back green, it'll be the 17 to lead them back to it. Garrett Parker still in the lead with a hard charging Caleb Rhodes on the outside. Parker fires. We're back green. Rhodes already going to rip the outside line. Going to try to clear through the middle. Gets a little bit tight. Battle side by side down the front straight or down the back straightaway. Into 3. Rhodes way deep into the corner, but still able to clear on corner exit. So Caleb Rhodes to the lead. Oh, the 9 up the racetrack, able to keep going though. There's Caleb Rhodes in the R4, Garrett Parker in the 17. Then it's the 10 of James Hendrich. And fourth is the 14 of John Newell. And rounding out the field is going to be the 9 of Austin Beam. Closest battle is for the second spot. It's going to be the 10 looking for a way around Garrett Parker. Now it's going to be a battle between third and fourth. John Newell looking for it, but it's going to be a white flag in the air for Garrett Parker in the 17. Oh, nope. Almost a mistake there from Caleb Rhodes. I was watching the battle between Garrett Parker, but Caleb Rhodes took the lead and never looked back. He's going to win Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods Heat Race number 2.
Race is finished. In the top 3 to 10. 4, 17.
Heck of a battle there for the second spot
4R. 17.
between the 17, 10, and 14 there. Now rolling out is the Midwest Mods Heat Race number 3. Final heat for them. Tony Fincher in the number 1 going to lead them out there. Jerry Brown in the 221 to his outside. In row 2 it's going to be Shannon Geller in the 7G and Mark Simon in the 23 on the outside. Rounding off row 3 is going to be Tyler Knudsen and Carter Jackson in the 65 JR. And we're lined up quick and going green. Waving them off. Wave them off. Oh, whoa, whoa.
23, back it down. 23, back it down.
Thought we were still going there. Mark Simon almost jumped off the right rear. Got to still wave them off. Give him another lap. We're going to try it again. Tony Fincher, Jerry Brown lead them back to it. Tony fires back green. Simon looking around the outside line, being really aggressive like he was trying to go when we called off the restart, but now he moves into the second spot, really trying to rip the outside line, almost making a little bit of contact with your leader. We heard him in hot laps. He was the one car that was on the chip, and you're hearing it on the front straightaway. That's that weird boom that you can feel in your chest right after the start-finish line. As he gets up the racetrack, that's going to allow the 8 to go underneath him on the bottom. Tyler in the 8K working the inside line, and it's worked out for him. He's able to clear down the back straightaway into 3, move him to the second spot. He's going to set his sights On Jerry Brown, your leader. It's single filed out now, but he's rolled up to his back bumper. It's going to be the battle for the lead. Tyler trying to work that middle lane, but with him doing that lane, Jerry Brown's kind of just able to run wherever he wants. Now he looks to the outside line, going to try to sneak to the right rear. See how beat up the right rear is of that 221 after the start mishap, which now that it's pushed in has allowed Tyler to kind of sneak in there. He's still got a nose. Sneaks back to the inside line. They're going to slide, almost make a little bit of contact. They're door to door. Simon goes around in turn one. Simon all the way around all by himself. They're side by side for the lead, and caution's going to come out. That's the one of Tony Fincher. Had to check up to try to avoid Mark Simon spinning. Made a little bit of contact to the door, but they're going to try to get back running. Get them lined back up as quickly as we can. What a battle for the lead that was going to be. Conversation down the back straightaway there as we're trying to get the 23 off the racetrack after the one and done rule. Trying to get him off the racetrack. Going to give the 23 the black flag, trying to get him off the racetrack. Can't hear us or don't have his race receiver. All right, 6 laps down. It's going to be Jerry Brown to lead him back. Tyler in the 8K right behind. We're going to double up at the line.
8 choose.
7G.
7 choose.
And then we'll have...
You gotta get 21 credit. Even with that bump at the beginning, it didn't face me.
Did you hit music?
Yeah, is it playing that whole time? Yeah. So sorry.
You're fine.
That's why I was here.
All right. We had music playing, so I apologize. We got it muted there. Quick intermission. Played some music.
Lights out. Going green this time.
Here we go. 2 to go. Jerry Brown fires back green. Not a great restart there for Tyler in the 8K. He's going to have to fight hard around the outside line like he did before. He's going to be back to the 7's right rear, but going to have to lift. Shannon able to get semi-clear. White flags in the air for Jerry Brown, and the battle is for second. Tyler 8K clear down the back straightaway, but through 3 and 4 for the final time. Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods Heat Race 3 win goes to Jerry Brown. Checker flag in the air. That'll do it for the Midwest Mods. The final class for the heat races is going to be the pure stocks for 8 laps. Then we'll have a little intermission, get the track reworked just a little bit. But right now, we might leave the track. Two heats for the pure stocks. Heat race 1 for the Show Me Dirt pure stocks. Trent Houston in the 19 going to lead them to the green. Clint Gooden in the 8 to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Robert White in the 5. In the 5S, Charlie Sloan in 4th. In row 3 is going to be Austin Wilson and Shane Headley. And rounding out the field is going to be Garrett Todd in the 43 and Mason Beck in the 41. We're doubling them up and getting them going here for the pure stocks. Second to last race, heat race of the night. Trent Houston of the 19 fires, and we're green for the Show Me Dirt pure stock heat race 1. One around, able to save it. No caution, going to wait on it, but the battle is still going. And caution's out. Going to wave it all by himself around in turn 1. So 1 lap down there.
No laps down, original
0 laps done.
My bad.
We're going to go ahead and double them back up.
Start. What should it be? What should it be?
19.
5S 17, row 2.
I'm going to go ahead and try to do a complete restart since we didn't get a lap in there.
41 by yourself.
Yeah, they weren't lined up right when we started.
The lineup's good there. Trent Houston in the 19. Outside's going to be Robert White. Try it again. Green flag once again in the air for the pure stocks. Off into 1. Side by side. Robert with a fender. As they go through 3 and 4 on corner exit, it's going to be a drag race to the stripe. It's going to be Robert White in the 5 to lead it. Tries to get to the bottom, pinch off the exit of Trenton, but he's fighting hard on the inside line. Track is hooked up and racy tonight. Still side by side for the lead between your top 2. We got a battle for the lead, battle for 3rd. And the battle for, I think, 6 back there. Still side by side for the lead. What a race. Trenton's going to have a nose now. He's going to have a fender. As we go into 3, we're going to see a slide job. Nope, not going to do it. Trenton's doing a great job. Going to be able to clear to the bottom lane. He's going to go back to the lead. Looked like the high side was the way to go. Just Robert wasn't able to work it as well as we saw from the modifieds earlier. Now he's going to get to the bottom lane. Lap 5. We're working lap 5 right now. Oh, side by side. A little bit of contact. There's a touch. You saw the nose kind of flicker. Like you smell a smell that you don't want to smell. That was what happened to Robert's white nose, as it made a little bit of contact there. He's really working the bottom lane, but these two battle a little bit more contact. The white flag's in the air for Trent Houston, but now they're side by side for second. Here comes the 41 as they're going to have a spin right in front of them, able to avoid it. Everybody able to avoid it. Checkered is in the air. It's going to be a race to the line. Side by side, Robert White, Trent Houston. Give it to Robert White. Man, that could have been big, but what a race from the top 3. Great job avoiding the spin. Robert White, Trent Houston, and Mason Beck all the way from the back. That's going to be a lot of passing points for the 41 of Mason Beck from 8th to 3rd. Leading him out now for the Show Me Dirt Pure Stock Heat race number 2 is going to be Derek Lampke in the 174. To his outside is going to be Trevor Ellington in the 42. It's going to be Scott in row 2 in the 179. In the 28W is going to be Michael. Row 3 is going to be Greg in the 13. James in the 0. And around the field is going to be Richard Adams in the 32 as we're getting ready to go green. Here we go. Derek fires. We're racing for the final heat race of the night. It's a gaggle of cars into turn number 1, almost, we'll say 4.5 wide for a second. The 3 wide in the back for last. We got a battle for the lead, battle for second. It's all going. Derek's able to lead it at the line. Trevor looking for a gap with the 42. Ooh, a little bit of contact on the exit of turn 2. That was for 3rd. That's the 28W, Michael Willemo. Oh, look at the 28's hood. The 28's hood is up in the air, not able to see. That's an infield tractor tire. He's in the tire. Gonna go for a spin. Can't see it. Hit the other one. And around he goes. Saw the hood fly up. He wasn't able to see. That all started on the exit of 2. If we can get a replay on Show Me Dirt, you can see it. The contact to the left front either knocked the hood pins loose on it, and then it knocked the hood up to where he couldn't see. Kind of like a Denny Hamlin at Sonoma back in the early 2010s. Couldn't see anything. Did a good job through 3 and 4. Then in 1 and 2 just couldn't see and went for a spin. Got a double up here at the line. Rack them, stack them, and line them up once again to get back running.
13 choose, 0 choose, 32 choose.
Derek in the 174 is going to lead him back to it. He fires back green. Good restart there. Now, is Trevor able to get there at all? He's going to go in the corner, maybe locked up the brake. They're going to be 4.5 wide, back to 3, 3.5 on the exit of 2. Now 3, back to 2. So we're side by side, fender to fender for the third spot. That's the 32, Richard Adams in the green machine. Now he's battling with the 0 as they make a little bit of contact. James Redis in the 0, trying to work the outside line. Looks like that middle to high side is worked. The top seems to be faster if you're confident in the car is able to run it. But we saw the modifieds run the high side. The Pure Stocks have liked that kind of middle ground. Now the battle's for third. James in the 0 and the 13 with Greg. Gonna move back to fourth. Oh, the 42 is gonna lose a lot of speed. Has a problem down the front straightaway. Trevor not gonna be able to have the heat race finish that he wanted. Gonna drop. Coming back to the white flag. He's gonna pull it down to the infield. Shouldn't have a yellow flag, but will have the white. Derek Lamb in the 174, led it from green to checkered, and he wins the Show Me Dirt Pure Stock Heat Race 2 win. So that is going to do it for the heat races. We're going to go ahead.
174, 032 to 10. 174, 032 to 10.
So we're going to go ahead and have a short intermission. You see the flat tire from the 42 there. So that's what happened, was the right rear went flat on Trevor's. B-Mod drivers, go ahead and head to the track. We're going to take a short intermission here, take a break, go ahead, get you some food from the trucks down there on the entry of turn 1. Oh, food truck's gone. Never mind. There's still a lemonade stand down there, so if you guys want some lemonade, go ahead and get you some fresh lemonade down there. Macadoodle Super Stocks, a feature. Going to be 10 of them. 5 rows side by side, 15 laps to decide a winner. So lead them to the green is going to be Tim Brown in the 111, and to his outside is going to be Logan Thompson in the 16. Row 2 is going to be Mark Davis in the 56 and Terry Williams in the 27. Row 3 is going to be Ace O'Neill and the 2A, and Kevin Brown in the 112. In row 4 is going to be Daryl Hurt in the 50 and Brian White in the 41. Rounding off the final row, row 5 is going to be William Gardner in the 7 and Steve Cushion in the 44S. First day feature of the night, Macadoodles Super Stocks, 15 laps. Tim Brown going to lead them to it. Tim Brown fires, and we're racing for the first main event of the night. See right where the dark patch is in the middle of the corner and down into 3. That's where that slick spot's going to be. They're trying to avoid it. We got a spinner, and caution's going to wave on the middle of 1 and 2. That's the 7. No laps got in. That was Will Gardner in the 7. Attempt number 2 at it. No laps complete, still 15 to go. Tim Brown fires back green. Logan working a little bit higher. We saw him do that in the heat race. He was working the way outside line, and we see Tim now rolling the bottom. So we're going to see what lane's better. And we know these next classes, the next classes are going to be watching. They're going to have people on the back straightaway telling them what lane's working in these super stocks to help them for their next race. So we see Logan really ripping the outside line. Then the 56 of Mark Davis trying to run the inside. Then there's going to be a spin from Logan. Contact to the 27. Darrell Hurt tries to avoid it. Little touch on the nose, but Logan got up a little high, and we saw him keep doing that on entry. He was able to drive in deep and gain a bunch of time. But as you look at the 27, he sees coming around. The front end was ripped off it. The right side door is going to have to be taken off and stepped on for next week. Even the A-pillar was knocked off it. He's waving to the fans as he goes by. So we're going to get him clean back up and try to get him run once again. There's a fender sitting in the middle of the racetrack.
27. You can go to the chutes, turn 3. 27. You can go to the chutes, turn 3.
We're going to go ahead and try to get it all cleaned back up. So once we get these lined back up, we see Logan is out of the car, okay. You see Darrell's still in it. He's going to try to get back running here. But Logan, unfortunate end to his night, was doing a good job on the top side, able to, believe he won the heat race.
27. Go in front of the 112. 27. Go in front of the 112.
So once we get these cars lined back up, and the next features, like we talked about before, Young Guns for 12 laps, the Driven to Win Young Guns. Then it's going to be the high side powder coating, fabrication B mods. Then after that's going to be the Midwest Hornets, Lake Area Liquidators Midwest mods. And then to round off the night, it's going to be the Show Me Dirt Pier stocks. So we saw how good this racetrack was early. But now that we got a few laps of racing in, go ahead, look to your neighbor, and make a friendly wager on who you think is going to come away with the win tonight in the Super Stocks.
When passion meets precision, 33 Chassis, where 20 years of racing passion meets championship-winning fabrication. National champions, track champions, recent 1-2-3 sweep, every chassis custom built from the ground up. Pure stocks, front-wheel drives, enduro, crafted to win. Built for your style, engineered for your safety, ready to dominate? Call Tyrel at 417-818-1307. 33 Chassis, building champions.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
You can see the dark splotch of coolant and water there in top of turn 1 and 2. So we're going to run a few laps, get the drivers to run through it, try to pack it in, and then get them lined back up.
What, like 5 minutes on the clock and then go from there?
I would say we did 2 laps, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and double them up here.
50 choose, 41 choose, and 7 choose.
Doubling it up now, do the choose. So it's going to be Tim Brown to lead them back, and the 56 of Mark Davis. So Tim Brown was rolling the bottom, kind of like a catfish on the bottom, running that inside line. We'll see if he's able to do it again. Back for the green. Tim Brown fires, and we're racing once again for the Super Stocks. So there's 27 on the front straight. He's just going to go ahead and pull off, unfortunately, after the damage there. But Mark Davis is second. Then in third, it's going to be the 2A of Ace O'Neill. Nobody's really committed back to the high side. I think everybody's seeing Tim run that bottom, middle to bottom, and staying on it. Now here comes Ace underneath Mark Davis in the 56. You get a really cool shot into one watching the 56. You see the left side brake, how much it sparks as he goes into the corner. You see it through the left rear wheel well. Right here as he goes into one. Watch that left rear tire with the open back end. You can see both brakes throwing sparks, trying to get that car to slow down and rotate. On lap 6 right now. Battles for second between Ace and Mark Davis. Ace O'Neill's done a great job trying to roll that inside line. They're going to get really tight, make maybe a little bit of contact. But these two battling has allowed Kevin Brown to catch up to him just a little bit. Then a little bit further back behind them is Will Gardner in the 7 and Daryl Hurt in the 50. But still the best battle on the racetrack is for the second spot. Between 3 cars now. 2.5 wide down the front straightaway. Mark's running the middle. Just looks like that car's tight. Washing up the racetrack, just isn't able to hold it. Ace is doing a good job of kind of rolling that bottom lane. Side-by-side contact into turn number 1. Off of turn 2, they're side-by-side. Give Ace with a fender into 3. But Kevin Brown has done a great job rolling up to all of them. This track is really racy tonight, and it's been a good show so far in the Super Stocks. Battle for third, Mark Davis trying to pull ahead. Out of those 3, it looks like his car might be the worst driving, because even with them side by side behind him, he really hasn't pulled that big of a gap. Now Ace is able to clear just for a second, but doesn't run the bottom. He's going to go back to the outside line. Looks like the outside's workable if the car's loose enough to get it to turn. We see Mark good through there. Looks like Ace is still a little bit tighter than what he would want to be to help it rotate. This is the race car driver in me, seeing what the race cars are doing, noticing it. Mark looks a little bit loose. Tim Brown around. That's going to be the caution. Your leader spins in turn 1. He was coming back to the white flag, and Tim Brown goes for a spin. So the battle for second between Mark Davis, Ace O'Neill, and Kevin Brown is going to be the battle for the lead with less than 3 laps to go. It should be 2 to go. 12 down, 3 to go. 2 to go. 13 down, 2 to go. We're going to go ahead and let them choose here at the line.
Double up. 2-8.
So it's going to be Mark Davis to lead him back with 2 laps to go. Does Ace or Kevin Brown have anything for him? We're back green to finish off the Super Stocks. Ace around the outside line, has a little bit of a run through the center. Will gets in, touches the inside tractor tire, but we're coming back to the white flag. Here comes Ace around the outside line. Is he going to have a run? In the same spot he's been all night, Mark has rolled that middle to bottom. To the outside line for Ace. He's got a right rear. He's on the right rear. Does he have anything for him? Sends it on the high side. Does he have enough drive? It's going to be a side-by-side photo finish. I don't know who got it. 56 at the line. Able to get it by a nose.
56, your winner. 56.
What a race to the line. Mark Davis, your winner. And a heck of an effort from Ace O'Neill around the outside line, putting on a show for the first main event in the Super Stocks.
We got a special gift for you in your payout. Thank you guys for being here.
It was an extra $50 for all the Super Stock drivers. But what a race and what a finish for the first main event of the night. Track was racy. Mark Davis did a great job holding him off. But Ace O'Neill around the outside line really sent it those last 2 laps. Figured it out in the first 13. Kind of used it as a test. But the top side came in. And he threw it in the corner hard enough to get it.
56 had it by me.
But as he's got the helmet off, he's going to go ahead and climb out of the car.
Yeah, because I get him right here.
Give a big round of applause for your winner tonight. Mark Davis wins the Super Stocks.
56.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that made my heart happy.
So the first main event of the 2026 season,
Tammy, you got the young guns? Or you want me?
a photo finish at the line. What a race. Alrighty, up next is going to be the Driven to Win Young Guns for 12 laps.
Oh, that's the same if you want me to race direct or you just want to.
Alrighty, Young Guns out on the racetrack now. We saw their crazy heat race. Now for their main event. So to lead them back to it, led every lap of the heat race, Brantley Jones in the 13. Kyle Kraus going to be in second. Isaac Farewell in the 9. And Zoe Mooney in the 28Z. In row 3 is going to be Ribbon Maddie Kopp and Lauren in 12. And to round off the field is going to be Sydney in the 22. Brantley Jones and Kyle Kraus to lead him to the green. 12 laps the distance. Brantley fires, and we're green. See off into 1. We had an incident in the heat race. It looks like for now they're able to get through. 1 and 2 clean that time, but around the outside line for the most unique looking street stock in the field is going to be the 777. Kyle Kraus able to clear around the outside of Brantley Jones. Brantley going to try to use the bumper just a little bit. Got in there a little bit deep. Try to get the car to rotate. We got a left front tire flat for the 28 of Zoe Mooney. Going to pull it to the infield. But we're staying green for the moment. So battle is for the lead. Now keep in mind, this is the Young Guns, so under 18 years of age. So right now, Brantley is going to have to learn how to make this pass nice and clean to get by Kyle and try to take back the lead. But Kyle looks like he's pulling the lead. So the Young Guns have had one race already on May 1st. And Kyle was able to get the win that race. And we saw how dominant Brantley was in the heat race. So in the Young Guns class, Kyle was able to win the first race. We'll see if Brantley can win the second. But still, it's going to be so he's looking to the inside. He's got the right idea. Go high and exit low. Come off underneath him. Halfway at the stripe. This time by. He's got the corner exit. Now he's got the right front tire to Kyle's left rear, but just isn't able to do anything with it. Goes in the corner, rolls the bottom. Great. Actually a good corner for Brantley. But Kyle gets the run off the high side. Kyle deep into the corner, but he's going to wash up in the center. Keeps working the inside line. We saw he liked it higher in race 1, but caution is out on the front straightaway. One stopped. That is the 12 of Lauren.
Drivers watch for track vehicles.
Lineup's good, and more than likely we're going to go single file for the restart. We just passed halfway that time by. So, funny story. He was able, so the 777, Kyle Kraus, was able on May 1st to win the Young Guns and then went to the Hornet class. You run the same cars and ended up flipping in the Hornets. So he was able to get that fixed up and back out on the racetrack. And now is leading it once again. So went from winning to flipping, back to leading here. And Tim Day has, with the Driven to Win program with the Young Guns, helps them rebuild the race cars and helps the kid learn how to work on them. So he just told Kyle over the race control, it's better to just finish the race than flipping it. So we'll see if he can keep all 4 tires on the ground for this race and see if he's able to hold off Brantley, who's going to try to be a hard charger and get around him. Gonna green this time by. Five cars left. The top 3 lined up close, and here we go. Slow roll, little check. Kyle goes, and we're back green. Isn't able to get it in gear, trying to shift it. Now they're side by side. Brantley to the outside. Kyle able to get it back going, though. Takes back the lead. Brantley's doing a good job rolling the outside line, just like we saw from the Super Stocks, kind of rolling the ace line. But here comes the 9 of Isaac, looking for second, possibly the lead in one corner. Now they're side by side for the lead. You watch down the back straightaway. Brantley in the 13 is going to have the run. The 77 looks to be better in the corner because all the downforce from the wing. Then Brantley on the high side is able to hold it, but it's a dead heat at the line. Next time by is going to be the white flag. Kyle with a slide job, but they're dead even once again. Coming back to the white. They're racing their hearts out. Brantley with a nose now. Around the outside. Kyle's going to go in deep. They're going to make a little bit of contact. They want it. Who's it going to be? Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Not going to be able to do it. And Brantley's going to come away with the win. And caution's going to wave. There's one around in turn 1. But they're able to get out of the way. And Brantley Jones in the 13 is your winner tonight in the Driven to Win Young Guns. So two races, 2 main events, and nearly 2 photo finishes. Both races have been a last lap pass or second to last lap pass. But an awesome program that Tim Day puts on with the Driven to Win program for these young guns. But he's got the helmet off and going to try to climb out of it now. Getting the check ready. Getting his belts off. And Brantley Jones is going to climb out of the car. He's your future winner tonight in the Driven to Win Young Guns.
If we get
Coming up next is going to be the B mods, the high side powder coating and fabrication B mods for 15 laps. We saw how great the racing was in the heat race, which in that class. So there's potential for another photo finish with them. So keep in mind, all the kids with Frisbees in the grandstands, whatever number is written on your Frisbee, if that driver number wins, you can go down there. If you show the official the number, you can go to victory lane with them. So just remember, look at your Frisbee and root for that driver, whatever car number it is. On the racetrack now, high side powder coating fabrication B mods for 15 laps. The running order: Ryan Gilmore in the 66, and to his outside is going to be Eric Graves in the 2. Row 2 is going to be Lane New in the 32, and JC Newell in the 83. Row 3 is going to be Chris Jackson in the 65, and to his outside is going to be Waylon Dimmitt in the 11. Row 4 is going to be Oakley Ragland in the 15R, and Cody Crabtree in the 14C. In row 5, it's going to be Donnie Betts in the 68, and Bobby Rattery in the 20. In row 6, it's going to be Mason Rodden in the 49, and Chris Rattery in the 24R. And rounding out the field, the last row is going to be Adderall Shepard in the 55, and Dylan Damper in the 28D. So we're ready to rock and rumble for the B-Mods tonight. Next time by will be the green. Super Shane, race director, up here getting all excited for this one. This one could be the best show of the night. We already saw a great race from the Super Stocks. We're going to try to carry that momentum onto this one. So remember your Frisbee number and root for that race car. because you're going to go to victory lane with them. And here we go. High side powder coating and fabrication B mods. Ryan fires, and we're racing for the A feature. Clean 1 and 2 so far. Down the back straightaway into 3 for the first time. Side-by-side battle for second. It's going to be the 32. Lane new, able to clear. And we're seeing all these drivers try to figure out what lane they like. Looks like the bottom lane is the preferred one at the moment, but everybody is seeing that 66 ripping that high side. And a few drivers tried it up there in 3 and 4. Same thing in 1 and 2. Now you see new goes to the top. Then the driver on the bottom, Chris Jackson, in the 65, is really rolling that inside line. Cousin, from what I was told, to Tony Jackson in the 65, working that bottom lane. Then the battle for that 4th spot is between the 93 and 2. Eric Graves fell back from 2nd to 5th already. We got some dust being thrown up at the back. But it just doesn't look like the high side's working for a few drivers. But then you look up at the front, Ryan Gilmore and Eric Graves is working the outside line. Caution's out, middle of 3 and 4. So they're going to re-rack them and get them back lined up once again. But so far, so good. We're seeing if you look down in turn number 1, and you can kind of see it on the exit of 4, that dark patch is where the rubber's getting laid down. So that's where that grip is. So all these drivers are going to start driving a little bit straighter through it. So they're all going to try to find where the grip's at. See how they're working in the outside lane? They're on the bottom trying to find that nice clean dirt. Clean dirt on a racetrack. That makes sense.
In, Keith, 5 in.
5 laps down. Back to the green, Ryan Gilmore. 5 laps down, 10 to go as they all dive off into turn number 1. Chris Jackson in the 65. We saw how well he was rolling the bottom lane, and he's really working the inside line now. He's gained about half a car every corner. There, he was up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to hurt him. He lost a car length there. They're side by side now for the 5th spot. In the center of the corner, the side-by-side, a little bit of contact between the 20 and the 15 on corner exit. We got racing all over the racetrack right now. Battles everywhere. There's nobody that isn't side-by-side or racing somebody. Everybody is got a battle buddy, as I like to say. You're always battling somebody. So right now, it is still Ryan Gilmore leading it out front. Chris Jackson in the 65 rolling the bottom. The 32 of lane new. He's definitely found a new lane on the top side. See how he hangs it outside a little bit longer in the corner than we see from the 66. But man, I like watching all the brakes glow as they head off into one. Jam on the brakes, pitch the car sideways. We got a problem on the front straightaway with the 20. He's able to pull off. That was Bobby Rattery able to get off the racetrack, not cause a yellow. So a great job, heads up driving by everybody. We see Lane really working the outside line now. Here comes Jackson. Now he moves up to the outside line. Thought he was going to run it earlier after seeing Ryan really running it. Now that he's up there, kind of doing a kind of a half diamond. Runs the outside, then drives down the racetrack. Stays up on the high side now. Caution's going to be out. Another spin from the 28. Caution's out once again. Second spin of the night for the 28 of Dylan Damper. What a race so far from the high side. Powder coating, fabrication B mods. It's definitely been a high side race. We've seen it there from Chris Jackson move to the high side. So the top three right now were the three that started on the inside line. And since then, they've all three moved up to the top line. So we're going to double them up here. They're all going to choose now here. Alrighty, back for the restart. Ryan Gilmore to lead him back once again. Does anybody have anything for him? Nope. We delayed it just a little bit. Had a hiccup, had to redo it. Lights are out this time. Now they're all bunched up and ready. So Ryan's going to lead them back to it. Lane New and Chris Jackson. Row 2. Ryan fires back green for the B-Mod feature. They're able to keep it running. Back green. Chris to the bottom. Chris doing a good job. Just doesn't have the momentum on corner exit. Now throws it in deep. Needs a mistake out of Ryan. White flag in the air. Ryan Gilmore on the high side. Chris Jackson in the 65. How deep does he throw it in there? Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and Ryan Gilmore is going to be the high side powder coating and fabrication B-Mods feature winner. We got a young fan tonight down there waiting at the gate to go down to victory lane with his driver in the 66. So the young fan down there at the gate with the Frisbee. I see him down there. He's got Ryan's Frisbee, so he'll have to show the official before going down to the gate. But it looks like he's going to go to victory lane.
Simon, can you come open the gate? This kid's caught the Frisbee.
So here we go.
Before we go back racing, let's make sure he makes it back over.
This is like tech right now. He got to check for his Frisbee. He's got it. Now he's going down to victory lane. But Ryan Gilmore getting his stuff off. Had to hold off multiple hard chargers. Ryan Gilmore, your winner tonight in the 66. So he's going to walk around, get a picture with that young fan as we're getting ready and getting the Hornets lined up for their 15-lap feature. Hornets rolling out on the racetrack now. 12 entries, 6 rows of cars, 15 laps to decide a winner. On the pole, it's going to be Tyrel Jones in the 33 after the Heat Race 1 win. To his outside is going to be Bobby Mooney in the 3M. Row 2 is going to be Jim Cook in the 80 and Daniel Barton in the 93. In row 3 is going to be Justin Day in the 2 and Charlie O'Neill in the 3C. Row 4 is going to be Corbin Mooney in the 2M and 12M David Matney. Row 5 is going to be Martin Jared Mooney in the 73M and Alex Scarlett in the 32S. Rounding off the field in the final row, Rhett Edgar in the 29 and Kyle Kraus in the 777. The lights are out and we're getting ready to rumble here for the Hornets. Tyrel fires and we're green for the 15-lap Midwest Hornet Dirt Series A feature. Tyrel Jones leads down the back straightaway. Can he hang on to lead lap 1? Looks like he's got momentum. Little touch there from Mooney. Justin Day trying to work the inside line. As there's contact for the lead, the 33, the 3, and the 2. That could cut a tire. The one thing with these mini stocks is they are front wheel drive. So touching with the front tires is something you want to be very careful with. 1, to not get a flat tire, and 2, not to mess up anything that's moving your car forward. But Justin Day's working the inside line. One of the best Hornets in Missouri, feeds a right rear to Mooney there, but able to clear. Move Justin Day, the 2 car, into the 2nd spot. Tyrel Jones now gonna be having to hold off. Like I mentioned, one of the best Hornets in Missouri, but man, they're racing hard already. Still 10 to go here, boys. Justin, does he throw a slide job into 3? Still just content on rolling the bottom lane. It's rolled good enough. Gonna try to clear. Wasn't able to there, but on entry of 1. Might be able to, and he does. Now the battle is for the 3rd spot between Bobby Mooney and Jim Cook. Tim Cook still working the bottom lane. We've seen it all night long from the modifieds going to the top side. We saw 1 car in Jackson try to roll the bottom, and a lot of these are content on rolling the middle to bottom. See Justin able to get it to turn, but we're halfway at the line now. Still the best battle is for 2nd, but there's even a bigger battle there for 5th between 3 cars. That's the 93 of Daniel Barton trying to hold off the 2 of Corbin Mooney, and the 32 Alex Scarlett. A great job rolling the outside line. Tim Cook still on the bottom, just trying to get that lane to work, but just isn't able to. Side-by-side battle into 1. Mini slide job. Slide job from Tim Cook. Now the crossover from Mooney. Tries to block it. But Jim Cook able to complete that pass and move him into the 3rd spot. So still out front, Justin Day by at least half a straightaway over Tyrel Jones in the 33, then by a straightaway back to Jim Cook. Then Mooney in the 3, the 93 of Daniel Barton. We saw the pack racing from the mini stocks earlier in the night. Between both heat races, this one spread out just a little bit calmer than what we had before. White flag is in the air for your race leader, Justin Day. Started 5th on the field, had a maneuver his way through. Had a great battle with Jones, but once he got the lead, he never looked back. Justin Day is going to win the A feature in the Hornets. And they're 3 wide coming across the line here. That might be for 7th. That was for 6th, 7th position. He's out of the car now, talking with his sons and daughter. Justin Day, your race winner, as he walks around the car. Give him a big round of applause.
We're even good, buddy.
Alrighty, on the racetrack, rolling out there now is the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods.
Thank you for being here.
But rolling out there first, Caleb Rhodes in the R4. And to his outside is going to be Jerry Brown in the 221. In row 2 is going to be Ryan Hargis in the 25J. And to his outside is going to be Tyler Knudsen in the 8K. In row 3 is going to be Ben Newell in the 83. And in 6 going to be Garrett Parker in the 17G. Row 4 is going to be Brian Prewett in the 222. And starting 8 is going to be James Hintrich in the 10. And row 5 is going to be John Newell and Sharon Geller in the 7G. In row 11 is going to be Derek Cook in the 7C and Carter Jackson in the 65JR. In row 7 is going to be Michael McCauley in the 10M and Austin Beam in the 9A. In 15th is going to be Joe Francis in the 32 and Tony Fincher in 16th in the number 1. In 17th is going to be Derek Collins in the 14C and Mark Simmons in the 23C. And then rounding off the field is going to be Corey Henson and Aaron Odell. And we're ready to go green. We're racing in the Midwest Mod feature. Caleb Rhodes fires. We're racing for the 20 cars and already around all by himself. Caution on lap number 1. We're trying to get them all unhooked here, get back racing. This field had 20 cars to start, so the biggest field of the night. So I was wondering if we were going to see some contact. We're hoping to get through lap 1. Like they were okay, and then just somebody came in late and kind of kept spinning a few cars. So just trying to get the bumpers unhooked. But now that we're Erie Run, bump your neighbor and make a friendly wager on who you guys think's gonna win the Midwest Mod feature. Alrighty, lights are out. We're back to racing action here for the Midwest mods. Caleb Rhodes and Jerry Brown to lead them back to it. Jerry Brown with a great restart around the outside line. Can he hold it though? Gonna have a nose on exit. 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. Into 3. Rhodes, great corner through the middle. He's able to move up in front of Brown and clear to the lead. Now here comes the 25. That's Ryan Hargis on the bottom. He takes the lead by at least a half a car. Working the bottom lane. We saw it from the B-Mods earlier in the race, how that bottom lane was starting to come in now that so many drivers have ran the top side. And then the battle is for second. So right now, everybody looks to be liking that bottom lane right now. Nobody's really committed to the top side except for the 8 up there on the high side. Tyler really liking that high side. He did it also in the heat races, and if you drive it in right, it's so slick to get up to where the grip is. But right now, it's working for him. He's going for third around the outside of Rhodes. It's working out pretty good. He's gonna clear, so move Tyler in the 8K up to third. Now you see Rhodes tries to follow him on the high side. These cars don't have spotters. They don't have anybody in their ear talking to them. All they can see is what's out in front of them and maybe outside the left side door when they're sideways in the corner. So you saw Rhodes go up there. He saw how well the high side was working for the 8K. Tries to follow him now, and it looks like at the halfway point, caution is out. As I was saying though, so the 2 leaders have been running the bottom. We saw Tyler in the 8K rolling the outside line, and it looked to be faster. But the top 2 don't know about the high side right now unless they can hear my voice. Other than that, if they keep running the bottom, it's going to leave a lane for Tyler on the outside. So we'll see what lane that they end up in. So I want to hear you race fans. Who thinks Ryan Hargis in the 25J is going to come away with the win? Who thinks Jerry Brown in the 221 is going to come away with the win? Who thinks Tyler Knudsen is going to get the win in the 8K? Knudsen.
What about 10? Is 10 broke?
I apologize to Tyler if he ever watches it. That's why I haven't been saying his last name, because I knew I was saying it wrong. So, sorry there, Tyler. We're rounding off, getting cars off the racetrack now. A few cars with shocks hanging, problems everywhere. But we're going to double them up and let them go back racing.
Drivers, let's double them up. 221.
All right, Ryan Hargis to lead him back to the green in the 25J for Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods. Ryan fires back green. There goes the 8 around the outside line. Like I mentioned before, Tyler looking like Tyler Reddick around the outside line. Trying to roll it halfway at the stripe. Is he going to be able to get there? Watch the 25's right rear and the 8's left front. He is there. Round the outside line. Drives it in deep. The top side is there. And he is going to almost clear into turn 1. Just needs a good corner here. He's driven all the way from 4th to the lead. And he's going to be clear on the front straightaway here at the line. So move the 8K to the lead. Just past the halfway point. Does anybody see what that high side is doing? Does anybody move to that outside line? Doesn't look like anybody's committed to it. He is on the edge. When you're on the high side like that, you just can't overstep it. Can't overdrive it. He's got to the lead. It'll be hard for anybody to pass him. As long as he doesn't overstep it. He's done a great job of it so far. Still, Ryan run the bottom lane. I'm shocked nobody's moved up the racetrack. Next time by is the white flag. Ryan has 6 more corners to try to make something happen. Just isn't there on the bottom lane. 4 corners to go for Tyler. In the 8K, ripping the high side all night long. Tyler Knudsen gets the win. Knudsen gets the win. I got it at the end. I'll write it down for next race. Sorry, Tyler. I messed up the call. Yeah. There you go. Drift it at the end. I had everybody in the booth yell at me, so I apologize there, Tyler. I messed that up. Shane, all the girls up here, even my girlfriend was yelling at me, so that was great. But Tyler ripping the high side. That was kind of the advantage there. Found that top side. Nobody else knew about it but him, and he really seemed to be the only one to be able to roll the outside like he did. Taking all the belts off, taking his helmet off, getting unstrapped. One more feature after this one, the pure stocks to end off the night, which could be the craziest and wild race of the night. Tyler Knudsen gets out of the car, and he wins the Midwest Mod feature. So next up, we'll have the pure stocks for 15 laps as the final feature of the night. We appreciate all you race fans staying. As long as you guys have 11 o'clock late night of racing. I know it's going to be a late night for me racing tomorrow night at Lebanon I-44 Speedway. So if anybody's trying to do the double duty tonight, come to the grandstands and watch racing tonight, and then come tomorrow. See few guys down there. Few of y'all. We'll see how tired I am tomorrow night.
We had 10 of James Hendricks. Between the two of us, we only have 110 that got scored.
All right. Pierce Dock's out on the racetrack now. Robert White's going to lead him to the green in the 5, and James Redis in the 0 to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Derek Lamp in the 174, and Mason Beck in the 41. Richard Adams in the 32, and Trent Houston in row 3. Austin Wilson in the 17, and Greg Dykstra in the 13. Dykstra. I'm trying here. Shane Headley in the 44, and Scott Lamp in the 179. Garrett Todd in the 43, in row 6, starting 11th, and Trevor Ellingson in the 42. Charlie Sloan in the 5S, and Michael Willoughby in the 28W. And round out the field, starting 15th, is Glenn Gooden. I'll write everybody's name down on how to pronounce it on the hard ones next week. So, yeah, I'll say this now. If any driver that rewatches the broadcast, I deeply apologize on the name. So, to be fair, Shane messed up my name at I-44 for about a year now. So, just throwing that out there. He got a G and a K messed up, so. We got any Cletus McFarland fans in the grandstand tonight? Saw he got the pole in the ARCA race earlier today. Don't think it ended great. Think he ended up making contact, having a flat tire, wasn't able to finish. But Cletus got the pole for an ARCA race. So we'll say a makeshift pit stop on the back straightaway for the 42. All right, so now we're going to get them all set and ready for the final feature of tonight's race. Alrighty. Show me dirt, Pier stocks are green. Robert Wright leads him to the green. A little bit of sideways slip in the tires. And they're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway for the lead. Robert White is sideways, doesn't have the rear grip he needs. James Rudis going to lead lap number 1, side by side though, with the 174, Derek Lamb. Everybody slipping and sliding, contact 2 around in turn 1. Everybody able to avoid it. So caution comes out, we complete 1 lap.
19 and 13 by themselves. One lap completed. 19 and 32 by 19 and 13 by themselves.
Alrighty. Final checks on the lineup. Getting everything lined up. Everybody is good. So we're going to go ahead and double up now.
Double up. Who's up front? 117.
0 is out front. And then 174 will be second.
174 choose, 32 choose, 5 choose, 41 choose, 17 choose, 44 choose, 179 choose, 28 choose,
The lights are out once again. Going to get back going green. Finish off this 15-lap feature. Now the Show Me Dirt Pier stocks. It's going to be James Redis in the 0. Going to lead him to it. Redis in the 0. Going to lead us to the green. Slow and low restart. Fires back green. Can we see another 3 wide for lead? Maybe not 3 wide for the lead, but it could be side by side at least for second. Big run for the 41 to the bottom. A little bit of contact. Get him up the hill. Caution's going to be out. Didn't complete another lap. So it should line up still the same. But the run from Mason Beck in the 41, he shot out of a cannon off the exit of 2.
We didn't even have a lap in, and I believe that was by himself.
Looks like he
No lap completed.
had an opportunity to take second there on exit of 4. He got in the back of Derek in the 174 just a little bit, got him up the hill, a little bump and run. And it was side by side down the front straightaway. Final checks on the lineup.
Lineup good. Lineup is good.
Appreciate everybody still watching at home on Show Me Dirt and at the racetrack still. 11:20. It's definitely past my bedtime.
Choose 41 choose 5 choose 44 choose 17 choose 28 choose 19 choose 13.
All right. James Reedus to lead it back to the green. Fired. Good restart once again. Got great drive on the bottom. I really didn't expect that from where he's at, but they're all low, trying to find the grip as low as you can get it. Bunch of cars making contact. Luckily, they're all white, so they're not trading too much paint. A little bit of a stack up on the bottom, but able to complete another lap. Side by side, fender to fender. For 4th, now that's going to be the 5 of Robert White able to clear. With Adams just behind in the 32. Trying to keep it clean and green as there's contact and 3 wide into turn number 1. Was a big slider in the back. But now the battle could be for second. The 174 and 41. That's Mason Beck in the 41. It goes for a slide. Big run. That's a unique line, we'll say. Through a dust cloud like a Mario Kart move. And the caution's out for in the back. Caution is out. But Mason Beck, what a run from the top of the hill. Somehow, everybody avoid. But Mason Beck, the runs off the high set that 41 has been able to get has been incredible.
17 needs to be in front of
We'll say that's the Duke Boys line,
17 in front of 19 17.
or the Smokey and the Bandit line.
Then I'm going to have 8, 28, 13, 23, line up in the middle.
5S, that's 2 cautions by yourself. Towards the pits. Go single file. Keep it single file. Let's double them up. 1,
Gonna go ahead and double them up at the line. Gonna go do the choose now.
174 choose, 41 choose, 32 choose, 5 choose, 44 choose.
Everybody chose. They have to tell them choose. They all chose. Yeah, they just said we're lining up. Rack them, stack them, and send it again. How many to go?
You've got 4 complete.
4 complete.
4 complete. 11 to go. We're back green.
Flag. 4 completed.
Good corner there. For the 0. Shot out of a cannon. On the bottom. Getting great restarts. Especially on the bottom lane. You usually see them up the racetrack just a little bit in the middle and have a straight exit, but he's got good enough drive as there's contact between the 5 and 19. The 5 way sideways. I'm worried about the left rear. He might have a left rear flat, so be on the lookout for that. He's going to pay him back. Bumper gives him the spin around in front of the field, but everybody's able to avoid it. But definitely did not like the contact that the 19 gave. Trent Houston in the left rear, Robert White. And there was some payback as they went into 3.
Yeah, the 5 couldn't believe the 19.
He saw an opportunity and he took it, but actually did more damage to Robert's right front than it did Trenton's left rear.
5 and 19, report to the rear. 5 and 19, report to the rear.
Six laps down, we're ready to go back green. 9 laps to go back for the restart. We're green. Great restart by James. Actually, not a great restart compared to what we've seen from him so far. As Robert does have a problem now. The left rear, or the rear end is out.
5 dead in the water.
Out. Exit of 2. Caution is back out. Now everybody watching on show, oh, everybody's fine. 4 wide, 5 wide, under caution. If you're watching on Show Me Dirt, and there's a replay playing right now, I think there was contact between him and the 43. He was running the 43 up the racetrack, and it may have pulled the right rear out of line, but I think that's the rear end broken on the 5.
0, 41.
Because the left rear does look like it is knocked. Yeah, that's going to be definitely a tow. So you see he's out of the car and okay, checking it out, checking out the damage. Hearing that we might go single file here from here on out.
In front of 8, and then 17, 44. Yep.
But as we're looking for a tow truck on when we can get him off the racetrack. We were able we didn't even get 1 lap in, so we only done 6 laps so far. So far, the last race of the night of the Show Me Dirt Pier Stocks, taking the longest.
Back to the last completed lap.
Yeah, so we'll only have 6 in.
Back to the last completed lap. 28:43 in front of the 19.
coming back to the restart. 6 laps down. James Reedus to lead it back. He fires. And we're racing once again. Single file. Hopefully they're able to stay running now. Beck trying to do a slide job, able to get clear. Now here comes the 174 Derek Lamp in to the bottom. Into 3, and they're side by side. A little bit of contact, but they're racing for second. Mason Beck really hasn't, and one's around. That's the 28 around. Is he able to keep it back going? Able to keep going though. He got it whipped back around. Great job. Everybody's still rolling, but that will be lap traffic for your leader. Mason Beck and Derek Lamp battling it out for second still. Slide job from Mason. Crossover. Seeing what they do. Half slider for Mason. Gonna try to roll the bottom for Derek. It's all mind games. You know he's on your bumper at this point. You can see his nose, center of the corner, looking on. Then you don't know where he's at by now. Now back to the bottom, tries to pinch it off. He pinched him off, so he couldn't keep rolling the bottom. Now he's going to do the slide job, get back up the racetrack. There's a battle and contact in 1. The 44 is going to go around in turn 1. Is he going to be able to get it back going and keep it green? And waiting for the caution. We're keeping it green for the moment. .41 now. Next time at the line is going to be, the white flag is in the air. James Reedus navigating his way through the final lap traffic, but he's led ever since the drop of the green. Rolled the bottom to victory tonight. He's able to come away with the Show Me Dirt Pure Stock win. James Reedus in the 0. Mason Beck comes home second. 174 Derek Lamp comes home in third.
174 to 10. Here's stock drivers.
Well, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you, race fans, for coming out tonight. Join the show for the first weekly race of the season. We appreciate everybody showing up and staying late with us, putting on a show. Great racing throughout. Next race on the season is going to be June 19th. Back out here 2 weeks on a Friday. As he's getting his stuff off for the final time tonight. The last one to park it in Victory Lane. He's got the helmet off now. As he climbs out of the car, give him a big round of applause. James Reedus in the 0 wins the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks. Once again, thank you, race fans, for coming out. June 19th, the next race. Thank you, everybody on Show Me Dirt, for watching. My name is Cade McClenny. It was great having you. Hopefully, I did all right for everybody. So we will see y'all next time.